My name is Bob Nagle, and welcome to the Quad Bean Channel. December 7th, beating the Golden Rays of Sunshine once again today. Sleep did not go well last night. But hey, today's Pearl Harbor Day, which is, I grew up during, parents having been veterans of World War II and such. But my father was 4F. But a neighborhood, childhood friend of mine, who he had whatever, we kind of grew apart. And I always stayed in touch with I'll call him Jack. And, through the years, we commiserated about the Red Sox. We're big Boston Red Sox fans. I called him about that championship because we both went through it many years. And, he's 100 years old. And I'd share books with him. I like Stephen Ambrose, and we would share books like Band of Brothers and stuff like that. Citizen Soldier. And, he was in the Pacific, and that's why I'm shouting him out. And, it was called an LST. He was on a landing ship tank. And all those battles, like Iwo Jima, and those had to get, not Iwo Jima as much, like Tearaway, it would have to get right on the beach. So it was very dangerous, and they'd lit tanks off. And, he told me some stories that were horrific, but he's 100 years old, and God bless you, and, that was just important for me to say today. So I look at this, like I've been talking about. So there's no psychiatrist. I wrote about, when I did my city council thing, I gave an anecdote about a friend of my son, John. And so let's call him John again. And so he's gone through all this stuff with the police. He had like a psychomotor. He was walking off. They called the cops on him. They'd called the cops on him for piddly stuff. And he was at the point of almost getting arrested. So he was homeless. His father was like an alcoholic and treated him like hell as he was growing up. And then he was out in the streets at like 18 or something. That's the thing that I don't understand. When a father says to, or parents say to their son or daughter, you're 18, it's time to get out of the house. I don't think that's fair. You should, encourage your children to do whatever they feel like doing, not push them out the house. I think it's always your child. But that's just my philosophy. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of other people's philosophy. But the thing is, with Massachusetts, where John is from, like I've said, there's a plethora of psychiatrists. But the problem is, like I said, they owe $300 an hour. So therefore, someone like John can't get 2 years of psychiatric records. You have to have 2 years of psych. How much does that cost? I had insurance, thank God, but he doesn't have any insurance. So he doesn't have verification that he's mentally ill. But he insists that, obviously, the police that are so insightful as far as, and determinative as far as condition of people, to throw them in jail on like I say, involuntary commitment. But with this type of policy now, they could just say, hey, this and that, he's homeless, whatever, and just throw him in. The basic human needs. What would be his recourse? He'd be in jail. I'm happy to say that things have worked out for him as far as I know, and I hope they still continue to work out for him. And, he doesn't run into any type of that, horrible ableism, which is really prevalent with the police. It's freaking true, man. And, I don't know, the whole thing they would say to him is like, what are you doing? And they'd be combative and try to escalate. They're indefatigable in trying to incite individuals into breaking law, trespassing, bullcrap type of issues. But that's, once again, a psychiatrist, they don't want to work for nothing. In New York City, they have to forgive a loan for them to go in and help people that are homeless, even they profess to be helped. Their mission in life is to help people with mental illness. Only if you got insurance. Only. Or you can make an appointment like John did down at ServiceNet. Like I said, and there's like 5,000 freaking social workers in whatever that can determine it for psychologists. And, you had to wait how long? and then he was getting kind of jerked around and to lose interest. To get that call when you're younger must be a difficult thing. That's what I feel so badly about. This next generation of people living with mental illness. If you don't have a definitive diagnosis, you're screwed as far as the disability goes. But if you get a definitive diagnosis, you're screwed as far as the police go. As far as involuntary commitment, scary sticking words, right? So I'm a bipolar survivor. The sun's coming up today, so I don't want to not be seen or blinded. I feel like I'm still living in a state of madness and mad power. No rainbow until the rain. Florida, baby. My name's Bob Nagle, and welcome to the Quad B channel. I'm committed daily to doing a bipolar video journal, chronicling what it's like living with bipolar. All bipolar experiences are individualistic. And once again, all mine are an individual. This is a video introspection. I'm hoping to look back on this after a year, engage where my moods were, and maybe find an answer through my own treatment.